Hi there, and welcome to another episode of The Confrontier. Before I continue with this video, I would like to ask you something. Namely, I am very interested in what sort of subjects you would like me to discuss. So, if there is anything you would like to tell me about that and that you would like to give me as a suggestion, you can either give me a remark in which you say that. So, have a comment on this video, please, or you can also send me an email using theconfrontier@gmail.com. Thank you. So now let's discuss what I want to discuss today. In today's episode, I want to focus on social media and mostly actually influencers. And I'm not going to be lenient here. I'm not going to be fine-worded. I think influencers in general are one of the worst elements in society these days because their reach is often enormous, their message is deplorable, and their impact is negative, very negative indeed. I would even put it like this, that influencers that are involved with selling themselves to sell products and to sell messages that are damaging to their listeners and their viewers are some of the worst leeches society has to offer. Imagine society as an animal moving along as well as it can, then the very botflies and the very intestinal parasites and whatever sorts of other creatures you can imagine that drag down the health of this animal and that help it move in a wrong direction, well, they would count most of those influencers among their number. Now, you could say, of course, well, Mr. Confrontier, you're also an influencer yourself. Well, perhaps I am, but I would like to think that my message is not detrimental to you, and certainly not detrimental to society. So there's my defense, and I think there's all the defense that is needed. So when you think of influencers, just think of the word itself to start with, influence. Mainly, this is a euphemism, a word to put, a word that makes something sound less negative or less positive, perhaps. That signifies that what those people try to do is influence you. They try to guide you. They try to send you in a certain direction. Even the very word, the very term, being influenced, is negative if you think about it. And you don't have to think about it that much to realize its negativity. Something that I tend to say, and I'm going to say it here now too, is that influencer is a very ugly synonym for manipulator. And that is the very thing that they're doing. Manipulating you for their own benefit, manipulating you to buy their nonsensical stuff or their nonsensical message, and they themselves are bought by companies that use them to sell whatever they want to sell, or by governments that want to use them to sell whatever they want to sell. Like, for example, take the United Arab Emirates and especially Dubai, or Saudi Arabia. Those are countries that actively court and use all sorts of influencers and other celebrities or real celebrities or whatever you have to get the message across to you that they are fine countries and they're so much fun and that you need to spend your money on them. Well, don't buy it. When you find yourself listening to an influencer like that who wants to peddle their makeup, who wants to peddle their clothes, their jewelry, their nonsensical message, their anti-vaccination message, their anti-feminist message, this is what you need to think of. This is the slogan I would like you to keep in mind. Whatever you tell, it's a non-sell. You are not going to buy that. And those people are not there to help you. They are not there to make you take good decisions in life. They are not there to be a fount of knowledge, because most of them aren't. They're either ignoramai that think they are very smart indeed while they aren't, or at least they have no knowledge of what they're talking about. Or the other possibility is that they're cynical, vile people who know very well that what they're selling and what they're telling is detrimental to whoever wants to follow the advice, and they still do it because of the money. That is what you need to keep in mind. They are not there to help you. They are only there to help themselves. And by helping themselves, which is one thing, they are actively hurting others. And that's why I call them a parasite. And actually, they are even worse than parasites, because most parasites at least want their host to remain, well, perhaps not healthy, but at least alive, so they can continue to feed on them. Whereas these people who are actively poisoning your mind by making you want to buy things that you don't need, and by giving you ideas that are dangerous to you and the people around you, those people are actually destroying their host and moving on to the next one. Keep in mind what the showman P.T. Barnum supposedly said: there is a sucker born every minute. P.T. Barnum, if he ever actually said it, was completely right in saying so, of course. But you are not the type that will be that sucker. Let others be that sucker. And you know, the best thing you can do about influencers is just ignoring them. And don't engage. The best move, the winning option, the winning move is not to play. Just let them be, because the very attention they're getting is what's making them big. You may find yourself fascinated by whatever they're saying for some reason, but keep in mind that these people are only there to fleece you. They are there to take your money, and they are also there to put poisonous ideas into your mind, starting from the relatively benign that you absolutely need to have that nail polish, which is not going to help you, but at least it's not going to kill you either. At least I hope so, because there might be all sorts of poisons in whatever they're selling at the cheap, of course. But let's forget about that. But at the very worst, we're looking at influencers who try to sell you that, well, democracy is a bad thing, or that Putin is a swell guy, or that perhaps it's best not to vaccinate your children, or that climate change is a hoax, and things like that. That is not benign, or at least neutral at all. Those are very poisonous, very dangerous ideas. And influencers of the buy this bullshit kind are themselves not benign, nor neutral. They are very negative agents in the lives of the people that listen and especially believe in them. Undoubtedly, you notice that I sounded rather more vicious and more energetic in saying what I said. And that is because I think my message here is extremely important, especially for people who are addicted to social media and really believe that these influencers are there for their entertainment, are there to help them, and are there with the best of intentions. As soon as you notice that this influencer you're watching is trying to sell you something, or trying to convince you of something that is controversial, or that is supposedly a bit of wisdom that gets suppressed by the government or by institutions or by experts or whatever, realize that you're looking at the parasite who wants to suck you dry. And that is the reality. You do not want to be that person listening to such a parasite. You wouldn't listen to your tapeworm either, would you? So don't listen to that. So this concludes the video I wanted to share today. Keep in mind that I also asked you for subjects to talk about, so that if there is anything you would like to suggest, please do. Now, I wish you all a very healthy, happy and wise life, and continue building that mentality for the better. Bye!